Your FastMCP client needs secure authentication, but manually formatting JWT tokens feels like busy work. You'll see how the BearerAuth helper class handles token formatting automatically, while keeping your connection code clean and explicit. We'll demonstrate the complete pattern with a working client that verifies the connection in just one line. From FastMCP import client. From FastMCP client auth import BearerAuth. Async with client. https://fastmcp cloud/mcp. Auth equals BearerAuth. Token equals your token. As client. Await client ping. This demonstrates the authentication strategy pattern for secure API access. The code shows how to inject authentication concerns into a client through composition, rather than inheritance or manual header manipulation. What makes this distinctive is the separation between authentication configuration and the core client functionality. The pattern works by treating authentication as a pluggable component. The client accepts an auth parameter that can be a raw token, a structured auth helper like BearerAuth, or even custom headers, while the client itself remains unaware of the specific authentication mechanism. This follows the dependency injection principle, where authentication details are provided externally rather than hard-coded. This approach matters because it keeps security concerns isolated from business logic. You can swap authentication methods without modifying client code, making it ideal for service accounts, CI/CD pipelines, or any scenario where credentials might change. The trade-off is minimal boilerplate for explicit auth helpers, but the flexibility outweighs this when dealing with multiple environments or evolving security requirements. Let's break it down line by line. From FastMCP import client. Imports the client class from FastMCP, the primary interface for server interactions. This is your entry point for all MCP operations, handling connection management and request routing. From FastMCP client auth import BearerAuth. This imports BearerAuth, FastMCP's built-in authentication handler for token-based auth. It standardizes how API credentials are passed, ensuring secure connections without manual header management. Async with client. Context Manager pattern with async support. The async with ensures the FastMCP client connection is properly initialized and cleaned up after use, preventing resource leaks. This is the standard way to handle async resource management in Python. https://fastmcp cloud/mcp. This is the FastMCP server endpoint URL. It specifies the base address where all API requests will be routed, ensuring the client connects to the correct service instance. Auth equals BearerAuth. Token equals your token. Bearer authentication for the FastMCP client. This injects your API token into requests via the authorization header, using the standard bearer token scheme, required for authenticated endpoints. As client. This binds the client instance to the variable client within the context manager block. The pattern guarantees proper resource cleanup when the block exits, even if an exception occurs, by automatically calling the client's shutdown methods. Await client ping. This sends a lightweight ping to verify the FastMCP server connection. Critical first step that confirms the client can communicate with the server before making actual API calls. FastMCP client authentication. The async context manager pattern with BearerAuth handles token injection automatically, while custom headers via streamable HTTP transport offer flexibility for non-standard auth schemes. Failing to replace your token with an actual token silently produces 401 errors that appear as connection failures. Always test authentication flows with await client ping before making real requests.
The client that never holds its token holds all tokens.